color in your hair?
Well, I've been a hairdresser for like 23 years, so I've always done something to it.
Something.
Yep. But I
Have
think
you
blonde's my
found?
color.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wish I could pull it off. I think.
You can.
I don't know. How's everybody's week? How was Thanksgiving?
It was good. I mean, I ate the food. I felt kind of crummy from
Why
it,
do you think?
like, because it's just food I'm not used to eating, you know?
Yeah. Mm-mm.
It-
Man,
But it was
I don't
just
know,
like,
man.
yeah, after I tried to go to the gym the next day after all that, and I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna even film this workout because it was so shitty that I felt like I wasn't even doing great. So I did it, I did it again later.
Yeah. I always find like after I have something like that, I always feel better. Like because I'm eating so much, I have so much energy.
Well, and I thought I was gonna feel like, oh, I could bust out a really good workout. Yeah, no, that wasn't, it was the opposite. I felt like sluggish and
Yeah, it depends. It really depends. Like, I do feel sluggish for me if, for example, like, I get like a lot less sleep or something like that. That's when I really affects me. But usually the food, I use this as an example, like especially if you've been following a certain plan for X amount of time, right? Like your body's used to it. So I just think of it like a factory line, right? And you get a certain amount of units that you have to pack a week or whatever it is. You have a certain unit. And then out of nowhere, those units go up. So that's your calories going up. Usually all of the people in that factory line, because they want to go home at the same time, they work extra hard to get that next order done. So I find that the extra food that I get in, it actually makes my digestion work faster, my metabolism work faster, because it's like, oh shit, like there's so much food coming in. So I generally feel pretty good. It's just if it is in combination with bad sleep and I'm waking up early still, like then it affects me, or I'm drinking alcohol or something.
mm.
Yeah, but most of the time I see it as just like a refeed. I just keep it in my mind as a refeed. I generally don't eat too bad anyways, but yeah. Nice to have you in, Noah. Noah is a new member to Evolution. I think he's into his first week as well. So yeah, nice to have you here, Noah. Nice to see
Noah.
Rich here again.
Hey everybody, nice to see everyone.
Yeah.
I have
I
a
think
class tonight, so I'm only going to be on the call for maybe another 10 more minutes before I have to go.
Ooh, okay. You know what? I did make a slide for you, so I'll just jump straight to that early because you had a question about protein and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just start early and I'll repeat it if anybody wants me later. But I made a. Okay, so this week's one is nutrition. So I'll just jump straight to it. I believe your question was, Dale, like, how do you know what to pick for like protein bars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, firstly, before that, jump into that, do you know what makes something a good ratio of protein?
No, but I just kind of guessing. I feel like if I was looking at the nutrient information on a bar, I would look to see how many grams of protein are in it, how many calories are in it, how many grams of sugar, how many grams of carbs, how many grams of fat. And I would take all of those into consideration. And a lot of the times I found that they're high in sugar and all the other stuff,
Yeah.
which is
Look,
not so,
they're not that's not that bad. But what I'm saying is like, how do you know what to pick in terms of ratio is what I'm asking. So I think you're looking at the macros, which is good. That's a very good start. But I'll go to this slide here. So this is how you, for anything, this isn't just for protein bars, by the way. This is for any source if you're looking at like the back of a macro to figure out if this is a good protein to calorie ratio, right? So to check the protein to calorie ratio, what you want to do is these are your tiers, right? Anything where it's 10 grams of protein per 100 calories is good, right? Solid. Anything higher than a 15-gram mark per 100 is great, like excellent. And elite is per 20 grams of protein. You get 20 grams of protein per 100 calories. So I'll put this into an example. So anything like these, chicken breast, elite. Per 100 grams, it's like 25 grams of protein. Greek yogurt, great. Tuna is great. And then you've got a few different ones. So, for example, cheese, the ratio is poor because very low amount of protein, high fats. Nuts, very high fats. Salmon, moderate because of its density of fat, right? So when we're talking about ratios, this is what you should be looking at. So the easy way to calculate this, right, is, you know, when you're looking at a nutrition label, see if I have anything around here. So I'll get you guys to do an example as well. But when you're looking at a nutrition label, right, you look at the protein that it has, and you look at that. If it does have the per 100 grams, or great, but you just look at the protein. So in this case, like I'm looking at one, it's only 1.7 grams of protein. Right, you divide that by the total calories, then you times it by 100, and then whatever number you get, so we'll put it into practice. So let's say the food that you have, it's 200 calories. The protein in that food is 20 grams of protein per serve. So you have 20 grams of protein divided by 200, which is the calories, then times by 100, right? So that gives us 10 grams of protein per 100 calories. So that would be in this category here, that it's solid. Does that make sense on how you do it? So do you want to do an example where, let's see, what's something that do you remember the protein brand bar that you ate?
Some sort of RX.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I actually used that in one of the slides. So
it was, I think it was a 30 grams of protein.
Okay, cool. All right, let's just, I'll get you to do this as an example. Okay, so I want you to use the example that I just gave you to figure out if this is a good protein to calorie ratio. So you have the calories there, you have the protein there.
Protein is 12 grams. Okay, so then what you did was, so then I take 210 divided by 12, right? And then times 100. So it's 1,750.
No, you did it wrong order. So it's it's 12 divided by 210.
5.71.
So that's 5.71 grams of protein per 100 calories. So if anything, that would be subpar. It wouldn't be a good thing. So that's how you would distinguish it.
Okay.
Right.
So in this case, does it matter what the sugar and the carbs are?
Well, what we're talking about here is total. We're talking about fat loss, right? We're talking about staying in a caloric deficit.
Mm-hmm.
So you should be looking at two main things when you're looking at that: total calories, because that's what's going to dictate fat loss, and then in your case, protein, because you're trying to go for something that has a higher protein content. So that goes to this slide here, which I will show you too. Protein is the king for fat loss, because this is what it does now, right? It keeps you fuller, it reduces your cravings, helps you maintain muscle mass, and it takes your body longer to burn those proteins than other macronutrients, right? So doing a combination of, looking at the calories and looking if the protein ratio is good is going to be your best bet when you're picking it.
Okay.
Yeah. The guys that just came in, did you want me to re-explain that? Everyone's okay? Anthony, did you understand that one, Anthony?
So yeah, I've been eating primarily like Pure Protein or Quest. Those are the two protein bars.
You're talking about protein bars?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I did a pure
So, yeah.
protein as well, and I just calculated it on it because that's what I have, and it's 10.55 grams of
Which is
protein.
decent, which is good, right?
Oh wow.
And
You
It's a
said that
very
was pure protein?
I'll go through
Yeah,
the
with,
cheat sheet here as well.
this
I'll
one
go
here.
through
Thank
I'll
you.
go through a cheat sheet here as well, Dale, that I created. But I'll just quickly go through this because I know you're short on time here. But what makes a food a good choice? So I didn't just go through protein. I went through carbs and fats as well. But basically, a good food choice for losing weight just comes down to a few principles that I think. Does it keep you full? Does it tick the box of satiation? And is it a smart choice? Like, can you pick that and feel like your energy is not zapped or you're not going to be hungry in the next 10 minutes, right? So, pick and choose. So, like I said, protein's going to be king. It has these, right? So, I quickly jump straight to your cheat sheet that I made for you. Using ChatGPT as well as a few reviews, these are the top 5 protein bars that are out there, right? So, you have Quest bars. I think that's what Anthony uses. They generally, because they have so much variety, they're between 190 to 210 calories. So this is their protein content. Does anyone want to do the calculation on that real quick?
Still RX bar on the screen.
Oh, shit. I haven't been... Oh, my God. Sorry, guys.
Perfect.
Thanks for telling me that.
You're good.
Does anyone want to do that calculation?
Is it 21 grams?
Yeah, just use 21 grams and use 210 calories.
I'm coming.
I got
10.
10. So it's pretty decent, right? And the one thing that Quest bars offers that are really good is it's 14 to 15 grams of fiber. So, obviously when you have fiber, that's going to slow down the digestion of things, help your body stay fuller for longer too. So it's a pretty decent bar. High protein, good volume, minimum sugar. I think the only downfall of Quest bars is some of them taste like straight up cardboard. I'll be honest. I don't know if it's in the US, but Australia, some of them pretty bad. So
Quest bars, if you bake them like a cookie, they'll taste better.
Yeah, for sure. Air fry them. Yeah. So
I never thought about that before. The
Hey,
baking.
Coach Steven, do you have a David bars on here?
David bars. Oh, I don't think so. I'll go through the list here that I wrote down and then we'll see.
Barbell's pretty good.
Yeah. So we got Legion Athletic bars that came up in the reviews. 240 calories, 20 grams of protein, 4 grams of sugar, moderate carbs and fats. And people are saying it's kind of like a normal food bar. It doesn't taste like too proteiny or anything like that. So these, I think, all of generally will be around that 10 grams per 100 calorie mark. Okay. I think someone just said this one, Bear Bells protein bars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very similar. Pretty good ratio. They said I haven't tried it because I think that's an American brand, but a lot of people saying that it actually tastes like a proper candy bar.
Barbell's pretty good.
Yeah. I think Dale, I can send you all these as well. But yeah, I think your question was on the bars.
Yes, that would be great, please. And I'm sure there will be a recap of everything that I missed.
Yeah.
Usually
And
you
then
guys send out a
RX
video or whatever.
Yeah, the RX bars, even though the protein ratio isn't the best depending on what you have, the benefit of RX bars is that a lot of the ingredients in them are whole foods, so not as much processed than the others. So if you're someone that doesn't digest really well with processed, you might be better going that way. I know some people are like they don't like sucralose or the certain sweeteners like stevia and stuff. So yeah, that could be one option. It's a popular one as well. I think it's in a few of my clients' plan built bars. I think you get them from Costco, maybe. Not too sure. I think it might be that one. Decent. Some of them are 130 calories, 17 grams of protein. So, you do math on that one. It ends up being pretty good. 13 grams of protein. So it's on the middle section, pretty good. And then this one's a large one, but apparently if you should be using. That's why I put it as the sixth one, but it's a high calorie bar. But people are using it more of a meal replacement. They're not giving themselves the excuse to be like, I don't have time to eat. Like, yeah, you could fill in your calories by eating a protein bar that's pretty good in fats, carbs, micronutrients, and seen as a meal replacement. Right. Cool. But yeah, I'll send this all to you, Dale. No problem.
I'll send you the macros on that David bar as well, Dale.
Let's go through it right now.
It just came out pretty recently, and a lot of people at the gym have been eating them, and they said they taste actually pretty decent. But they are 150 calories, 28 grams of protein. So that's what 28 divided by 150 times 100, which would be 18.6 per 100 grams.
There you go. Yeah. 150 calories, 20. Oh, wow. 28 grams.
They're like goated for the macros, and I heard they actually taste pretty decent.
That is very good. That is almost elite. Yeah. That is very good. I'm surprised they have that much protein and it doesn't taste like cardboard.
Yeah, it's 75% of the calories are from protein. So.
Oh, hell yeah. Let me see if I can find the ingredient list.
And you said that was David bar?
David, yeah.
Okay,
David
I'll have to
bars.
look for that. Where do you get that at?
Walmart has them.
It says Amazon sells them in
Amazon
boxes
sells
too.
them too. Yep.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I'm just gonna look at the ingredients.
Milk protein, isolate, collagen, whey protein, concentrate, and egg white.
So it's a blend still. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Is it the one with the
I
guy in the
find
mustache?
It's just a gold bar.
I just see a black guy. Seth, to be honest with you, black guy with sunnies on. But look, a good way to know as well if a protein is decent in terms of ingredients as well is obviously very less processed stuff. And if you can find a protein bar that's predominantly protein isolate, very good. Most of them are going to be like a blend of concentrate and stuff just to save on cost. But I find if I even have a touch of concentrate, like I'm flying to the toilet. So, yeah, like if you can find a bar that's an isolate, that's great. In Australia, we have something called Fiber Boost. It's 100% isolate, and it's like 130 calories for like 22 grams of protein. So it's really good. And it's like 20 grams of fiber too.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm not if you guys can find something similar. And they taste great as well. I think it's like 30 different flavors.
Which one is that?
I'll send it, but I don't know if you guys can get it in the US. Probably can, to be honest.
You guys have all the good stuff over there.
Hey, if we're willing to pay enough shipping cost, we can get anything.
That's true. You guys have really good stuff too. I look on like a lot of like company stuff. You guys have like a lot of like 0 calories, 0 sweeteners stuff. We don't have too much of that stuff. Yeah. But yeah, just sent the shop to you guys. Hopefully you guys can access it. But yeah, they're really good. Very high fiber. Some of them go up to like 25 grams of fiber. It's like really solid. And yeah, it's basically like the main bars that I can digest well. Okay. Just reshare this one. All right, where did I'll start from after this protein. So, obviously what makes a good food, high volume. We've spoken about this. For anyone new, high volume basically just means like it can fill up the space in your stomach without adding too much calories, right? So that comes from vegetables, fruits, watermelon, berries, because they're high in nutrient, antioxidants. Watermelon's high in water. Potatoes, super filling. Low calorie as well. And then you have like other versions nowadays that do like low calorie versions of carb stuff. So like low calorie rice, cauliflower rice, popcorn. But the main thing is volume equals fullness. Fullness means that you'll be able to actually stick to your caloric deficit and not snack. Okay. Right. Second thing that I like to add as well would be that keeps you full and on track is fiber. Right. So I said fiber quite a lot just then, but does anyone know what fiber does for you?
It takes longer to digest.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps you full longer, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So fiber, so like when you are actually having a meal as well and you have fiber in it, all of the stuff that you're eating in that meal, it will slow down the digestive process, which helps you regulate your appetite by delaying any hunger cues that come up later.
And your blood sugar.
Blood sugar, yeah.
Lower your cholesterol, yep.
Mm-hmm. So blood sugar control, cholesterol, yeah, I didn't have that one written, but yeah, definitely for sure. Yeah, so fiber. If you guys want to know what fiber stuff is, there's fiber is usually high in like veggies, fruits. Not that high in fruits actually, but more veggies, oats, beans, chia seeds. So these are very common things that you can just add into other things. So like protein shakes, into meals. Like for example, if you're having like chicken rice, you can turn that into like a Mexican theme. Put some beans in it, chipotle sauce, avocado. Like these will help you a lot as well. Oops. Okay, so you got fibers, and then how to stay on what to pick in terms of food. You always want to pick something that's trackable. So this would have helped a lot of people maybe during holiday periods or even like events as well. Anything trackable. So like anything that's like hasn't been super manipulated can be tracked pretty well. Lean meats, rice, potato, pasta, even if rice is like cooked with a certain type, of seasoning and stuff, generally it's going to be very close. The seasonings won't add too much unless it's like fat based, right? So simple sauces, foods, this allows it to be easily trackable. And if it's easily trackable, it means that you won't splurge or blow out, right? And then another one would be if in your foods that you're picking, there's hidden fats. All right, hidden fats. The reason why this is important to look at is because fats are so dense, right? Fats are more than 2 times the calorie ratio than proteins and carbs, right? So when you see on a nutrition panel like a gram of fat, you got to think of that as double the other ones, right? So they actually sneak up on you very, very fast. Right. So when we talk about fats, we're talking about oil, butter, nuts, and then fatty dressings as well. Right. These, if you're out and about, I guess the only way you can control these are by asking them to put it on the side. So like sauces and stuff, put it on the side. And if it's cooked, on a grill, that's going to be a little bit better than obviously deep fried, but you have to try your best to lower your fats when you're out because that's going to attribute to the most calories. All right, so anything deep fried, buttered, nuts, sauces, they're going to be quite large on the calorie spectrum. Okay, and then we went through this already because I fast-tracked it for Dale, which is how to calculate protein. Was that clear? Is that easy for everyone to understand? It's pretty easy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It's going to take a few practices, but yes.
Yes, sweet. And then you got carbohydrates, what makes a good carb. So for us, because I think we're all on the idea and the journey of weight loss, what makes a good carb for me is something that makes me full. I digest it easily and it doesn't spike up my calories fast. I can have a larger range of them, right? Okay, so high volume per calorie, high fiber, low added fats. Welcome, Tommy. And then these would be, so if you're dieting now and you don't have these in your diet, I would try to implement them. Because number one, if you're not eating potatoes, you should be. Super high volume, very filling per calorie, and will help you stay satiated most of the time. Right? You can also trick your brain into thinking that you're eating fries all day by eating like by doing it in an air fryer or an oven, right? I think second on the scale as well of, let me actually pull it up. Carb scale of,
Buddy.
I think they did a study on this. Has anybody seen the satiety index study? Nope. Okay, let me find it for you guys. I'll send this to everyone too. But this is the index of carbohydrates. Let me zoom in. So if you look at potatoes, it smashes everyone. Can you guys see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, potatoes is like goated for it. And then coming second would be like porridge, which is like oats and stuff. Right. So generally, I sent this in the group call, but you kind of just go down the list, right? If you're having, let's say, for example, I don't know, brown rice, and you find that it's not keeping you full and the satiety is around here, maybe up it to like oats or up it to potatoes and see how you feel, because you'll be able to eat a lot more of that one thing and it'll keep you fuller for longer.
Steven, have you heard about potatoes? I think they are from a type of potatoes from New Zealand, and they're like 40% less
Yes,
carbs
sir.
than regular
Yes,
ones.
sir.
Oh,
Yes,
I
sir.
saw you. I saw them. I saw
Hey?
them in the chat. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was from you, right?
No, you're good, dude. I'm glad you're listening. But yeah, there is such thing as a low carb potato. We went through it last week, and I think it's hard to get in the US. I don't know. I'm not sure why, but it is sourceable there. But yeah, it's crazy. Like for us, we can have like a 300-gram serving of potato, and it's like 150 calories. It's very low. But yeah, definitely something that you guys want to look into. And then, yeah, you got oats. Your fruits are really good too. So something like blueberries, strawberries, you can eat a shit ton of them, and it's low calorie, it's high antioxidants and fiber. Vegetables obviously are goated. Easy way to pick vegetables as well, because some vegetables will actually be higher calories than others, is I find that anything that's green, that's a vegetable, is usually is good. Yeah.
I gotta go, guys. I'll catch y'all next
See you,
week.
Dale. Have a good
Thank
one.
you.
Okay, man.
Later, dude.
Later.
And then, see you, man. And then these ones surprisingly actually make me quite full as well. Rice cakes and popcorn. Okay. All right. And then, and then we've got your fats. What makes a good fat? We already discussed fats, 9 calories per gram of fat. That means it's double. So it's tough to pick, but there are definitely versions of fats that you can pick that's better for you, because it gives you the health benefits and doesn't sneak too much. So I find that these ones are, if you're measuring your oil, great. Avocado is goated for that one. Nuts is a really good portable food. So if you're finding that you're having trouble getting in all of your calories in a timely manner, having fruit, a protein bar, a protein shake with some nuts, you've pretty much created a full meal. Any seeds that you can add to shakes, your meals are really good. And obviously salmon is going to be your best bet. Yeah. And then this is what I've come up with. It's not perfect, but ideal ratio for fat loss. Basically, if you're following this metric that we went through, figuring out those carbohydrates, what's going to be beneficial for you. So there is going to be a level of compromisation, or I would like to say sacrifice, because sometimes you might have to sacrifice the one thing that you love for you to eat more of something else. But that doesn't mean that you have to do that every single time. It just might mean like for a week, and the next week you can return back to. But there's always there's no right or wrong. There's always just going to be maybe an optimized version of that. So like if you wanted to eat, I don't know, 150 grams of rice, you could trade that off for eating like 400 grams of potato. Like which one's going to keep you more full in that time frame? Right. But yeah, that was basically, yep.
I found an alternative for us here in the U.S. for lotatos. They're called charisma.
Oh yeah, charismas. We have that too, actually.
Yeah. So that would be like the closest alternative for us.
Charisma potatoes. They're 25% less, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's plenty. Yeah. But yeah, if you guys aren't doing potato, for sure chuck it in. Like it's very good.
Yeah, it's about time for a break from rice for a little bit.
I mean, you can still keep one thing of rice in it, but yeah, you'll find yourself like if you gravitate to potato is quite versatile too.
Yeah.
Like last week I was doing shepherd's pie, like I said, like it was potato based and I add a bit of gravy on it and it was great. Like it kept me full. It was low calorie. Yeah. I guess that was all I had for the nutrition part, because I think a lot of the guys here have been dieting for a while. Was there any questions anyone wanted to go through? I'm just gonna send these slides to chat as well.
Hey, Steven, I got a question.
Tell me.
Hey, man. So if you're over calories but under protein, do you still keep eating to hit your protein goals? Say you're like 30 or 40 grams of protein. Do you like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go over 20, slam like a protein shake and a chicken breast and call it a day and just be over, or do I just stay under my calorie limit?
What do you think?
I say go for the protein.
So the aim of the game, so the outcome we're looking for is to lose weight, right? Yeah. So if it's to lose weight, then you have to be in a caloric deficit. So you having that extra 30 calories, if it pushes you over that caloric deficit, then I would actually say no for that day.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. As much as you want to believe that extra 30 proteins for you to hit that protein content, like your body is still going to take in that excess amount of calories, and calories is what dictates fat loss.
So basically, it just depends on your goals.
Yes. Like, for example, let's say you're, I don't know, like doing a reverse diet and you're upping your calories slower, and you already hit your calories, but you didn't hit your protein. Cool. That extra 20 grams of protein might be only like 80 grams of 80 calories or 100 calories. You can afford to do that, right? But if you're cutting, a lot of times, small little actions that you do over a longer period, they do add up. So like, I think I used this. I think we went through this. Anthony was eating like one thing. I can't remember what it was, but we weren't tracking it, and it was very small. Like we didn't think he didn't think it was something trackable, but it was like 30 or 40 calories. But he was having it sometimes twice a day, 7 days a week, right? So it ended up being 60 times by 7, right? So it ended up being like 420 calories over the week. So they do add up. So it really depends. Once off and stuff is usually okay, but if it's consistent, you'll find that these things add up. That's why like people that don't track coffees, and there's someone that drinks coffee like quite regularly with like full cream milk, you realize like that full cream milk that they're having might be 50 to 100 calories. And they have it every single day. They're having excess amounts of 700 calories.
Thanks, man. I was not doing that.
You're good. So you got high volumes, fiber, trackable. Yeah. I will send this to everyone anyways, but yeah.
Cool.
Society and that. I'll send you nutrient density in general too. But yeah, look, I guess the floor is open for anybody to have any questions. We've got 10 minutes or so. If there's any questions in regards to protocols, programs, even if you wanted me to go over, like events or Thanksgiving, how you guys went, if you could do better, just, let me know.
I'm Steve, I wonder too.
Oh, I was gonna say I was curious to hear about the people, what their strategies were during Thanksgiving, since I'm a little new here.
Hell yeah. Yeah, good question. Did anybody navigate through Thanksgiving that they thought was well, or what they did, or what things they implemented to keep them on track?
I hit up Coach. She had me do a kind of refeed day that day.
Nice.
Um,
Just so, is it Ang? Is that how I say it? I think it's Ang. Just so Ang knows, because I think he's new here. What is a refeed?
It's a day where you may have like more calories than usual. Usually you still want to keep your fats a little bit on the lower side, but having carbs, having an increased amount of carbs, and what that'll basically do, you can use that refeed day. When you go to the gym like the next day, you're going to have so much more fuel and be able to push yourself even harder. In my mind, like my first refeed day really helped put the circle together that food is fuel and not just like this thing that we eat because it tastes good, but like go to the gym after having a high protein, low carb meal, you're going to notice a difference than if you do like a simple carb going into the gym, maybe a little less protein, but higher carb. And you're just going to be chugging away at your workouts like you have all the energy in the world.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Did that make sense, Ang? What a refeed is? Just so before Augustus tells you his strategies.
Yep.
All right. Good for it, man.
So Coach Taylor had me at 259 grams of carbs for Thanksgiving, 173 grams of protein and 64 grams of fat. Equaled out to roughly like 2,400 something calories. And with that, and like kind of measuring, making smarter choices, like I went for the sweet potatoes instead of the mashed potatoes, and other things like that. I was able to finish at 2,362 calories that day. So still about 80 calories under. Nice. And as far as my nutrients, I hit 177 grams of protein. She put 173. I did 260 grams of carbs. She put 259. And then I ended at 57 grams of fat and she put 64. So I was able to like keep right in there. And that was like a pretty big freaking win.
Yep. So you're on target. You got to enjoy all your food. Was it too stressful? Did you find that easy to do?
Oh, I just made smarter choices like how we do like on the weekly meal plan, which kind of helped me out because I was like, oh, my mindset is so much better. And I got to enjoy everything without being like stressed out like, oh, I'm cheating, right? Because I'm so glad that I've come to this program because when we use the term a free meal versus a cheat meal, that positive reinforcement of it makes it so you don't have a toxic relationship with food.
100%. Yeah. I hate the term cheat meal because it's kind of like saying like, oh, when people get stressed out or people do stuff, they're like, oh, that whole week's a write-off or that the whole thing. But you haven't even finished the week and you've already given up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like maybe that day, cool, you can call off that day or whatever it is, but to set yourself up and look at the outcome as the whole thing is over, that's a bad way to put it. So cheat days or cheat meals, it's like you're not cheating anyone, honestly. Like you only actually cheat yourself if you actually are going real bad about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, different positive thoughts. Remember from last week, having a positive thinking allows your body to look at the outcome and imagine and reframe yourself in a better position.
Yeah, and last Friday I had like a nasty ass workout. Like I was just going. I was like a train on crack. And like I just went right back to my meal plan. There was no like, oh man, I wish I could have those Thanksgiving leftovers. It was like, nah, I had just enough. I was the only person at the table who didn't feel like overly stuffed, like I overate or anything. It was like, I'm like, oh, I'm content. It was awesome. Yeah.
Good. Did anybody else try a different version of strategy? So Augustus obviously did a refeed strategy.
I would say I didn't have a non-traditional like Thanksgiving. No turkey, no mashed potatoes, all that. I had beef stroganoff, which was just one portion of it, and that
Mm-hmm.
was pretty good. That and salad, and it worked out well, at least on
Yeah,
my
and
end.
yeah, and from memory, when we spoke, you tracked that just on MyFitnessPal and fit it into your calories, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I think the crux of what everybody does is as long as you're finding some level of accountability to track yourself and not let yourself go haywire, most of the time the events itself isn't the reason why you gain weight or fail. It's actually what you're doing afterwards. So those events, you should be able to not feel restricted. You should be able to feel in control. But the thing that you want to avoid is the cycle of guilt and binge eating. So, like, same thing as what Augusta said. Like, yes, you guys had Thanksgiving, but doesn't mean that you have to pump the leftovers over the next 2 or 3 days. You know what I mean? Even if you did have leftovers, okay, cool, track them.
Yeah.
Right. But it's the problem when, people are like, oh, I have to eat them. It's going to be such a waste. And then they don't do any other versions of accountability. Like, they're just like, oh, I'm just going to eat it. And then, I'm not going to do my steps because I have time off or I slept in. Like, those are what kind of destroy you during the holiday periods, not the actual day itself. The day itself is as if you had another refeed. You know what I mean? You're just eating something different. Yeah, it might be higher calories, but if you're in control, it's probably fine.
Oh, I upped the crap out of my cardio last week too, leading up and after. Like I was hitting like a solid 13 to 15,000 steps.
Exactly. So if you want my version of it, for any events that I do, if I know the event 7 days out, I'm 100% a big believer on like calorie banking, right? It's very easy for me. I get to be the person to control it. If I want to take off 100, I'll take off 100 calories. If I want to go larger, I'll take off 200. So I'm in control, right? And if I do that over a 7-day period, it's going to add up to be quite a lot. So even if you were to take off 100 calories, which could be a little bit of sauce here, a little bit of something there, drop a bit of thing there, by the end of the 7 days, you've gained a 700 surplus, which is usually a large meal, right? And during any event, you're probably not going to follow the same structure as your diet because you have an extra 700 surplus plus whatever you're switching out, right? Yeah. Generally, it might be a lunch or it might be a dinner. All of my meals are generally around 600 to 700 calories. So let's say it's 700 calories. I have 1,400 calories to play with. If I'm sitting there eating 1,400 calories in lean meats and vegetables and picking smart options,
it's a crap ton of food.
Yeah, it's a crap ton of food, right? So it's very hard for you to go over if you're being smart. But if you're kind of not putting yourself in that thought process or not caring, very easy to go over 1,400. It's like 5 chicken wings.
My cream of wheat meal is 468 calories, and that's usually like my pre-workout meal. And what I started doing, because I'm a firm believer in calorie banking as well. Like if I have like 2 or 3 rest days from the gym that week, like it's like, why do I need the fuel from the cream of wheat? Let's just skip that. And then at the end of the week, I'm like, oh crap, I have 1,600 calories that I'm down this week. I could either take the deficit or like, let's enjoy something.
Yeah. So unconsciously, you just did high day, low days, right?
Yeah.
You're dropping out. Yeah. So that can be done too. If you're someone that always has a pre-workout meal, and you pretty much make it a ritual for you to have it prior to training. On your non-training days, if you save those up, you can have something larger on the weekend, or that's how you become flexible, right? That's how you're able to eat the things that you want to eat without losing progress.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Did that answer your question, Aang?
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah. Just so we know as well, man, like what did you do on Thanksgiving? That was a question for you, Aang.
Oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
What did you do for Thanksgiving?
Well, I had it was like 200 grams of turkey, 50 of rice, and 100 on cassava. And then on the next 2 days, I cut 250 calories. That basically is my snack. And on that Friday, I didn't work out, so I focused on that. My main calories would have been in protein. So I was not as hungry, needing that
Nice.
that snack that I normally have.
Yeah, good. Look, the only thing I would add to most people's stuff is like when you're in this holiday period, because you have a little bit more time off or gain some sort of freedom, really increase your activity. Activity is going to be a very large portion of how much calories you burn in a day. So we spoke about this a couple weeks ago as well. And wait 1 sec, I'll just pull it up. So remember, this is what dictates how much calories you burn in a day, right? So you got your BMR, which is your resting, right? Can't really change that. The only way you can change that is by building more muscle, right? So obviously that's why we're training so hard, right? And then you have exercise, which is up here. So even if you were to skip exercise, right, it's only going to attribute for 10%. It's not much. Then you have the choices of food. So that's going to be sitting at around 15 to sometimes 20, right? Depending on the thermogenic effects of food. So that's why you picking proteins is a very smart option because it burns more calories, right? But then if you look at this portion here, which is your NEAT, which is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, it's usually a pretty big share, anywhere from like 20 to 30%. So on the days where you do eat more or have an event, what you should be doing is increasing your activity. Because you've tried your best to stay on top of your food, right? But with the extra food coming in, you should have more energy. You should be increasing this area, right? So holidays that you go to events, I know on events that you should have time off, your best bet is to wake up earlier than everyone, right? You know that your day is going to be packed. You can't push aside steps and be like, oh, I'll do them later. You're not going to be able to do them later because you're going to go to a lunch. Then that lunch is going to maybe go into a dinner. You're going to be with family. You're going to be in a room. You're going to be playing games or you're going to be talking. There's not a lot of movement. So the best thing you can do is wake up early in the morning, finish what you need to do, train, do your steps, and then treat everything else as a reward. You did all of this, great. You get to enjoy food with the fam, great. And then you've already banked or you've done some form of tracking your foods for you to eat what you want. So there should be no level of, I'm not allowed to eat that. Did this make sense? Yeah?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right. I'll send this to everyone as well, just so they have it. But yeah, look, if anybody has any questions, got a few minutes before we wrap up. Let's see. All right, then. No problem, guys. All right, we'll wrap up there for the week. Thank you, everyone, for joining, and hopefully it was a good call. If you need, I will send the recording of this call to the group call page.
Sweet.
All right, everyone, have a good week.
Take care, guys.
See you guys.
Good day, guys.
Later.
See you, boys.